The Miracle Bike. قطرة زيت ما يدر يمكن هذا شيء لا الكرانكيسز سباركينج بلاج naħseb użax Churchill meta kien żgħir fuq xi lawn mower da żejt rajtu fuq xi gaffa dik il-molla ta' xi trakk ara miraklu.
You leave them to mature in the tree, you know,
They're lovely. But nobody will have to cut them. Why do you do that? I don't know why we do that. We don't. I don't have oranges. Mother, remember Jahad? My mother does. Your mother does? My mother does. There are still oranges on the trees, and we're in April. And the best.
Read out.
Very big. And they put like all oranges.
هلا حلقك فريد.
Yes, sort of. And they're very.
Kada me åtni hos en jävel där jag blev. Där jag där ser vi. Jag fattar inte patata. Ska man ha i patata det så går patata ha.
الكلاب نايدة الفيلم.
Tal-mestre. Inti jidillek li kien hawn dak il-klab biex tal-ħadik pjanċa fuq tar-rota ta' qudiem. Mela ma tarax kamena milju. Da qed jgħid li kien hemm.
Iwa.
Ara. Fejn poġġu fir-rodu dik il-pjanċa.
Il-plejl dik ta' barra kamera u fejn qed il-dak jista' jkun. Jien naħseb ta' timur għad-dram, ma id-dram tal-milju.
Ara dik it-trajn. Dik tal-alluminju.
Takka tiegħi, takka ta' super rocket, ta' wara ta'
Imma jahna tal-master.
Rajt, iba, ma ġifiri, ħax kienu jamlu għalli, għalu.
Anka tal-Golden Flash għawek, PSA, daġil.
You think that the socks, and these two socks, and he wanted to try one of them on his side. So he went into the change room. So the socks just popped in his bag. It's his fault. I mean, it's entirely his fault. Still, he tried on the top, and then he decided what top, and he was walking to the checkout, and he remembered the socks, to take them out to pay for them, but they saw him. What? Because then I had to go sort it all out, because I know all the girls there and the manager, and I had to go, and she told me, I didn't know who your son was, she told me out, and he never knows.
Brian is an expert to get into these situations.
Ta' żejt jisħon kollha. Ma tista' mortieħ. U mort. Għasma xmetlux tambat. Imma daqqa tasmu l-eskwer, wara dak l-eskwer wara mort.
I mean, now I'm enjoying it.
Ilek tirraġuna ma dan il-għosta, għandek il-filmjak ma l-eli. Dak jispiega.
Taħabti sammijata, taħabti ħor sammijata ġa.
Ma nistennaw l-oħrajn.
اسمع جوي انتم تدونكم
Asma dak tal-gwerra ta' dak għall-ismaw skrin. والماجنيتا هو السين دخل جا الماجنيتا هو الزيت اشتكوا قالنا نمسح الزربو عشان واو وقفنا السطر نمسح
نقرأتي لك
تقطع
مسب
جسدي دلع وكل دلع وكل
Ma ġo, il-bicċa xogħol tal-isparki tal-Italja, dik falsa. Għax tal-għana, tant minn jaf kif l-ufawljat,
Ma jaf ma jkunx iffawljat, għax sajd
għandu magnita u tajjeb, dak li għandu.
Kelli jista' jkollu żejt Għala teppa l-għamra, għajmej. Il-wind break, għaw Ciao, amico, da kollu, ciao.
Cycles were the only English manufacturer supporting the Bergamo 3 days trial. This is exactly run as a practice for the international 6 days. And we've been fortunate enough to win team awards on a number of occasions. And I have here this one. This is presented by the Bergamo or Bergamastia, something of that sort, Bergamo Motorcycle Club. And this year, I think, was 1966. Yes, that's the 19th. So that is the more important of the two. This one, again, is a team award, but was presented by the BP oil company. Now, I would suggest that this is the Greaves motorcycle trophy, and this one, the Burt Greaves trophy. Well, now, quite what you can do with them, I don't know, but I've had them in my flat here for some years, and they're bulky, and this one in particular is heavy, and we have so many other things to take home that we thought, or my wife thought, that the club would probably be the most interested supporter and user of these trials. Now, quite what you do and how you run any competition is up to you, but at least these carry the Greaves name forward from 1963 and 1966. This is a bronze medal, and this is Lalique glass, which was very well known many years ago. So they are Joe, those are both
Thank you very
yours.
much. Thank you very much indeed. Thanks.
What I
There's
also,
also here.
that's an artist's sketch. Guess who? It's rather tricky to take home with the glass. So there again, I thought you could use it more than I could.
I've left the others inside. I've left the others inside.
Have we got the others?
I've got them in the car. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much indeed. And hope to see you again. Okay.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you, the club. The other thing that I have here, which I have in this card, is some early catalogues and a couple of reprints. Now, I think they might be of interest to some of you. I'd suggest they're kept by the club and the prints loaned out for interest. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you. All these items will go to the club library. Now, actually, since yesterday, we actually have a couple of good. Thank you, Bert. Thank you, Joran. We have, those of you who have received your journal, some of you I understand haven't received it. Albert and I went through a lot of trouble trying to get everybody's postal codes on the addresses now and catalogued in our records. And despite that, people still haven't received their journals. I'm sorry. This seems to be an international problem because everybody's always complaining that they don't receive the BMCC journal, do they?
That's right.
Anyhow, our other guest, I would say second guest, our other guest here is Carol Nash from the VMCC. Carol. Carol is overseas coordinator, and you all know that our club has been responsible for quite a bit of noise within the VMCC internationally, and Carol has given us a lot of support in the whole business, and I'm glad to say that at the last AGM, as you all know, the business of overseas membership went through with flying colours. So I thank Carol and Fred, and would you convey our thanks to everybody else that helped out, right? Carol has brought some bits and pieces. Where are they? Yes. For the club. Would you like to come and present it to us, Carol? You tell us all about them. How's that?
We have here 4 videos from various events in England. There's the West Kent Run, the international motorcycling, and I'm sure you don't have dark winter club nights, do you, as we have in England? 6 inches of snow, and you have to get them. I'm sure the club members will enjoy them over the next few months. Also, there's a video here, a promotional video from the Vintage Club Promotions Committee, also as an additional gift to the Historic Club of Malta. Is that right?
Historic Motorcycle Club.
And I'd like to say just how much a pleasure it is to come over here. It's been an ambition for a long time, and it's more than fulfilled our ambitions by seeing the friendliness of you.
Thank you very much. Yesterday at the committee meeting, incidentally, we decided what we were going to do with these because we knew exactly what Carol was going to give us, you see.
He's had a preview already.
I've had a preview already. And what we're going to do is, these videos are going to be kept by the club. Now, I have a number of other motorcycling videos as well, and what we're going to do is, if anybody wants copies, I will very gladly make copies. These actual videos will stay within the club as they are the original ones. Yes. But we will make copies for anybody that wants them. What we're going to do in the next journal, that we issue, we're going to give you a list of all the video material and all the books that the club owns, so that any of you that want any material from those, please let us know. You'll be given more details about who to contact, etc., in the next journal. Carol, thank you very much. I have decided which ones to show here, because obviously we can't have hours and hours of it. Obviously you'll all see them at some stage. You've already seen this one, in fact. But there's one or two others which I took a fancy to. And so I'm going to take the liberty to show just my choice here for not very long, perhaps a half an hour of videos here today. Thank you very much. And I understand that we'll be seeing Carol and Fred again in the future. Yes?
More than once, yeah.
Yes, Fred?
Including the Morgan over here.
Good. Yeah. Lovely. Thank you very much. Carol, before you sit down, don't go away. Don't go away. Because we've got a little something. I know you like hanging all these things in your office. Philip Tooth has historic motorcycle club things all over his office. And I know you'd love something for your office too. So can we, from the club, give you this, just to remember us. Right? Now, shall we watch some videos? Peter, lights, please, once I get this thing going.
Here we are again for the Saturday afternoon run with the Historic Motorcycle Club of Malta. It's the 9th of May. It's an absolutely glorious day again. We've got one or two new bikes that we haven't seen before, and we'll talk to one or two of the owners as we go along. First of all, we'll talk to Joe and give us a bit of an introduction.
Hello, Patrick.
Good afternoon. Come back again for another feast of motorcycling. There's one or two new bikes that I haven't seen before. Probably we can talk to one or two of the owners and see how they've been getting on with restorations or what have we.
Yes, there's quite a lot of new stuff. Not so much in the way of new members, but members pulling their finger out and doing some work. And finding a few new bikes too, in fact. Yeah. John's got, what have you got new since last time? You've got the A7, which he's riding today, which is an ex-police one. It's very, very nicely done in red. That was 1960. A7 500 twin. Yeah. You'll see matchless, a couple of M20s there that you haven't seen before, and just having a quick look now and trying to think what there is that's new.
Well, let's have
my Gold Flash.
Ah, you mean rent-a-bike? It's got a new rider again.
Yes, a new rider this time. It's never had that one before. Everything else is just as it came out of the box a few years ago.
Right, well, let's have a look at one or two of the bikes then. I missed it, it's just an old vintage bus. Right, we'll talk to the owner of the A7. If you'd like to introduce yourself and...
Yes, of course. My name is John Baldacchino, and well, about this A7. I bought this A7 about 2 years ago, and the owner who used to own it before insisted that it was a 650 Golden Flash. Well, I knew it wasn't a 650, and I said, doesn't matter whatever it is, I'll take it. And in fact, it's an A7 500 ex-police bike, having both alternator and dynamo. Well, actually, it was in black police color, but I've done it up in the BSA red color.
And how long has it taken you to do it?
It has taken me a year.
A year?
1 whole year exactly. And I managed to take it up to the show, not in working condition, but everything finished for show condition. And just after the show, I managed to time everything up and start it. And here I am, using it almost every week now.
Good, that's another lovely bike then, out and about instead of, you know, just rotting away in somebody's garage and not being used.
That's it.
Well,
one of those bikes that I say are now out for everybody to have a nice look at.
To enjoy.
Yeah.
Lovely. Okay, we'll talk to you later on in the day.
Thank you.
And we'll see you around. What about this one? Ah, there he is. What about this one? Have you done anything since we spoke to you last?
No.
No, nothing at all? What have you been busy with then?
The Horrocks, the Golden Flash. Just finished those.
Well, we'll have to come around the garage and have a look at this Horrocks and this Golden Flash and get them added to the film. So you've done really nothing. Well, that's a bit of a disappointment.
Well, no, well, not exactly, because it works.
It works. You don't need to do any more. There's some nice instruments there. I think they're not bad, are they?
You've seen them, I think. You've seen this one. This one's good.
Okay. Right.
Right.
We'll just talk to the man now with the rocket.
We had Kevin Keegan in Nortons 500 with dirt bikes.
Lila.
Come and tell me a little bit about this. Come in closer to your bike so we can get you both in together, because the bike's the star really.
Hey?
The bike is the star really.
Yeah, not me, eh? No. It's a 1955 model, the Road Rocket. It's still running in a good condition.
But we've seen this one before, but you've got another one as well now, haven't you?
Yeah, I've got a Gold Flash,
yeah.
1956, which I'm restoring right now.
Yeah.
And I've got another two M20s and a Cafe Racer.
And a Cafe Racer?
Yeah, another BSA.
A BSA Cafe Racer?
Yeah.
And is it...
a 650.
Is it a complete BSA or is it a Norton frame and...
No, it's a complete BSA. But what I'm waiting for is a fuel tank. The Cafe Racer type.
Oh, a big alloy tank?
Yeah.
Yeah, lovely. Yeah, that'll look great then.
Maybe I get the fairing as well.
Oh, smashing. I like Cafe Racers.
Yeah?
Yeah, I do.
I always wanted one.
Yeah, I did. I've got a friend locally to me that builds Tritons, and he makes an absolutely fabulous job of them. In fact, he's coming out here, I think. He's going to be here the fortnight of the rally in July.
Ah, that's nice.
And
that's nice.
he's a chap you want to meet, because he's been doing Tritons and everything since, you know, when they were around initially in the 60s. And he makes a lovely job of them. So you'll probably be able to get one or two tips from him.
Yeah, I do a lot of them.
His name's Dennis Willis.
Dennis Willis.
Yeah, when he comes round, I'll hopefully I shall be here, I'll introduce him to you.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you.
See if we can... This is Ian Lawson. He's on a different Triumph 21 today. We want to really ask him, you know, is this another find or?
No, actually this one belongs to my uncle and he just lent it to me for the day because I'm presently restoring my 21 and I'm a bit broke at the moment, so I didn't have time to finish it either, and he lent me this one.
Just to tell everybody, he's got married recently and he's been to Euro Disney and he's really been enjoying himself and neglecting his motorcycling.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I had to put that aside because it becomes a bit too expensive. Getting married, buying a place, going abroad, and you have to put things aside.
But like all good motorcyclists, he's got his wife working this afternoon,
yes,
and he's out enjoying himself.
Of course, definitely.
She said she was going to buy him some new handlebars with the wages this afternoon.
That's right, and a new set of levers too.
New set of levers, right. Well, we miss Carolyn, but Caroline. I always get mixed up with the two, but I know which they are when I see them. Right, Ian.
Right.
This is another guest from England. He's riding the famous renter bike, which now is absolutely famous all over the world now.
Everywhere.
Probably you can introduce yourself and tell me what club you're from and anything interesting about your own bikes or anything.
Yeah, I'm Mick Wilkins from Hampshire in England, near Aldershot. I'm a member of the Norton Owners Club, not the Vintage Club. I run a Inter Norton 1935 and a 1949 Model 7 early Dominator Norton, Triumph, GTP Velocet, 350 BSA, and so it goes on and on.
Oh, typical motorcyclist, get
I'm
one.
afraid so, yeah. But,
only ride one at once, but somehow or another everybody seems to want 8 or 9.
Yeah, I have to confess that all the year round bike is an MZ, which is an absolute marvellous bike, a good workhorse.
Well, at
least ride to work every day, all the year round for the last 14 years.
At least it's not Japanese, so we'll let you off with that.
Yeah, yeah, no problems at all. We did 2 runs before I came out here last Tuesday. The Norton Owners Club had a day at Goodwood where they hired the old motor racing circuit at Goodwood and had a lot of fun. Went far too fast and nobody hurt themselves. And then on the Monday before we came out, our local Lions Rotary ran a British motorcycling day where there were 250 British bikes all lined up.
Oh, lovely.
We did 45 mile run around the countryside, stopped at the inevitable pub for lunch.
Of course. Yeah, well, you'll see we'll have a little bit of that this afternoon as well.
I didn't think Joe approved.
Oh, well, if one of the rallies hasn't got food and drink in it, it won't be organised by Joe. Because if you look at all the write-ups, you'll see they're all punctuated by we stopped here for duck, or we stopped here for imaret, or we stopped here for something else.
Oh, good.
So,
yeah.
How did you get introduced to Malta? Did you?
To Malta, read a lot about it, read a lot about the war in Malta. I like islands. Came here 8 years ago for the first time and loved it. Tried Crete 2 years running, very nice, like Crete 2, but it's just too hot for me. So we keep coming back to Malta. Fortunately the wife likes it.
Yeah.
And what better company than this?
Well, that's it, that's what we all think.
What better could you wish for?
No, lovely sun and lovely old British motorbikes, you can't go very far wrong, can you?
Yeah, absolutely not.
And I understand your wife's not quite as keen as she used to be.
Not now, no. Margaret used to come out regularly, Saturday evening runs and Sunday runs, but crash helmets don't agree with her anymore, and so I don't press it. She's perfectly happy laying on the beach at Malta. So.
As youngsters, you know, we don't know nothing else but crash huts, so...
That's true, although I've worn them long before they were legal. I found they kept my head warm in the winter.
Well, that's the sort of thing we have to think about back in England, don't we?
Yeah. And then, of course, you can't hear all the rattles and clatters and bangs if you've got a crash helmet on. Good. Yeah, I don't mind wearing a crash helmet. I still hate wearing a seatbelt in a car, though.
Well, you know, I'm afraid it's it's inevitable. We've got to move forward, isn't it?
There we are. I feel comfortable in a crash helmet now.
Good. Okay, well, we'll see you a little bit more filming during the afternoon, and we'll have an natter tea and see what you think of the Maltese riding. And have you actually been out here before? Have you actually ridden out here before?
No. Last time I came 2 years ago, Joe offered me a bike. Mixed feelings. I'm not that keen on borrowing other people's bikes. But having said that, I'm enjoying every minute of it.
Good. Okay, well, I'm sure we'll see you during the afternoon, and I'm sure we shall, like a lot of people I film, somehow or another they get this big grin on their face.
Oh, yeah. You can't help but grin when you're riding a motorbike.
Good, that's how it wants to be. Okay, we'll see you later.
All the best.
Here's another real find, and Joe's going to tell us all about it and talk to the owner.
Oh yeah, this one, actually this is an ex-police bike. The ex-police M20, it's original registration number, Joe, original registration number, MP10, you know. MP10 was the original registration number for this one. It's an M20, but it's very, very much post-war in actual fact. We've checked up numbers and things, and I reckon it's probably about 1949-50.
Yeah.
Despite the girder fork and things like that. It's had a sidecar attached to it most of its life. But as you can see, you know, it's so original.
It's incredible, isn't it?
Uh-huh. His father deals in these sort of things, Joe's, and he had bought this on government tender for probably a £5 or something.
Oh yeah.
Together with probably about a dozen other bikes.
All for a £5 as well?
Yes, that was the sort of standard price in those days, you know. Not many people offered government tenders and things, not many people knew about them or bothered about them. And his father used to do this. He's got a collection. His brother, Joe's brother, actually has a very, very nice 1924, 25-ish Triumph 550 single.
Lovely.
A Model SD. It's lovely.
Yeah. Well, that's another one. Is he going to restore it, or is he going to leave it as found?
I don't know what he's going to do, but I tend to leave it as it is, frankly. I mean, he's got about half a dozen other M20s anyhow.
Yeah? Well, you couldn't get more original, could you?
No, it's absolutely original. It's got a few other interesting bikes, Joe. Sandek is here, Joe.
Much less.
Much less, I have plenty of those. A very nice aerial Huntmaster I found recently.
Yeah?
Norton SS.
Norton SS. That's a nice one. You haven't seen that one, have you?
No, I haven't. No.
AJS CSR.
AJS CSR, he's got.
There she goes, look. Typical old British bike. Just tickle her up and away she goes. Plods on forever.
I mean, literally, he just picked this out of the heap, you know, sort of cleaned it up a bit. A couple of kicks and it was away, and he's here with it today.
Well, that's something we think that these modern things won't be able to do.
Well, you can't, because you need batteries for a start.
Yeah. Yes, when they've had the old magneto, providing not got damp, they just go on, don't they?
If it has got damp, just leave it out in the sun for a couple of days and you're all
Away
right.
it goes. Well, that's lovely. Right, thanks for that, and we'll see you a little bit more around and about. What? Come on. We're now going to have some instant reaction from that riding. What do you make of that?
Very, very interesting. Very interesting indeed.
Your first words were it was trail riding. Trail riding?
Trail riding. Trail riding. But on a trail riding on an A10 650. Definitely interesting that was, but I enjoyed every minute of it.
Well, we've had all the best roads for you. We've been down the motorways and everything.
They were the good roads.
They were the good roads, yeah.
Oh, when are we going to get the bad ones?
Oh, well, they're on the way home, I think.
No, Pat, that was great. I thoroughly enjoyed that.
Good, well, that's what it's all about here.
Riding a bike, you know, in good company. That's what it's all about.
That's what it's all about. Good out. Did you think you were on your cafe race here, cafe racer, when we come round by Mercedes there?
Don't talk to him so complicated.
Something bite me, you.
Something bite you? That's why you was going so quick.
So I tried to avoid it.
Oh, I see. And the Matchless went by at a fair rate of knots once as well. What was your problem?
My problem?
Yeah.
I got camera shy.
You got camera shy and you wanted to go?
Escape.
Oh, I see.
Different. I must say.
Actually, I do that to cool down the cylinder barrel.
Oh, I see.
It works all the time.
Well, suddenly you was behind us. The next thing I thought it was a rocket. Zoom! You'd gone by.
Don't pull my leg. Wait till I switch it on.
Right.
First time I've ridden a bike in Malta.
Yes.
And it won't be the last if I can manage.
That's right.
Good.
Quite fun posting breaks.
Absolutely. Just the right speed too, not too fast.
That's right.
Yeah. Just an occasional burst.
You realise now, of course, you're talking to one of the famous motorcyclists in Malta that's had his...
had his Matchless in classic motorcycles.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh yes. Yes.
Yes, I'm
Yes, I recognise you and the bike.
You see, you're a film star now.
I saw the bike 2 years ago when I was over here, but I at Medina, but I didn't ride it.
Had you met the members of him?
I met Joe. For an introduction by another Englishman, a Vincent man, Dave Hills. Who rode the big burly chap with a beard. He rode Joe's comedy.
See, this is what motorcycling's all about. After we've had a ride, there's all the nattering that goes on, and you know where we've met so and so, and right. Susie's here as well. Look, a new slim Susie. Give us a twirl. He wanted to know if we were going down the motorways on the way home.
Which motorways? Actually, we've done nearly 30 miles.
Have we really?
We've just done over 30 miles, in fact.
Oh, it was good.
That's on the main roads.
And another 30 on the...
Come on, you can't complain about those, for God's sake.
Another 30 in the fields.
On an island that's 17 miles long. Think about it.
It's quite a distance, isn't it?
You bet.
Oh, we're only about a quarter of the way.
Yeah, true.
Right, well, we'll all go in and have a coffee or a cup of tea now and we'll cut the film and come in later.
Cut.
There's a typical British tourist.
Yes, very typical.
He's not got his socks on.
No.
There's not too many men.
Here we are again for the next Saturday run. It's the 16th of May now, and it's another glorious day. Got one or two new things today. Look. The girls having a stroll. Down the marina. Right, we've got one or two interesting things here again today. Francis is here again. They're all discussing the bikes again.
Link up with
My Super Rocket again. He's out on the 21. We've got a modern Ducati here. Well, it's fairly modern, isn't it?
It's better. Yeah. It's fairly modern, but the design is still
old-fashioned. Yeah,
classic. Put it that
classic. That's a better word for it. Yeah. They're doing quite well now in production racing again, I think, aren't they?
Yes, very
Ducati.
well. Very well indeed.
Yeah. Good. Okay. Well, we shall see
you need a foreign bike with all these English bikes.
Well, some of the Italians are lovely. Here's another one. Here's a. I mean, in England, I think we'd say it was ripe for restoration, but.
Uniform except girls. Girls, I don't care.
Oh, he bought about 3 or 4 weeks ago. He paid what was not a lot of money for 2 of these bikes, and he's within a short while. Typical British bike. He's tickled up the mag, give it a bit of petrol, away it goes, and here he is riding it, which is terrific.
I've already got the next one too. There it is.
Joe's out on the Vincent, which is fresh from being at its top end rebuild and everything ready for him to go and do the Milan-Taranto run, which is the week before the rally here in Malta. So it's about 750, 800 miles, I think, so it should be pretty good. Tell us a little bit about what you've done to your bike ready for the Taranto run.
Basically very little, more than anything else preventative maintenance. Took the barrel off, it's been a bit oily, obviously it smokes a bit, and I took the barrel off again and found that the bore was absolutely perfect. Still in the original bore, incidentally.
Is it really?
The rings are perfect because I changed this when I bought it 6 years ago. I put new rings in it anyhow. I put new valve guides in just to make sure I got absolutely everything new. It's still a bit smoky, but it's staying that way, frankly. You know. Yeah. I mean, I'd rather have at least I know the oil's going round.
At least it won't seize up and be smoky, will it?
Other than that, it's new tyres. I went through the brakes. I've just been through the gearbox, and I've converted the electrics to decent 12 volts with a decent headlight on, you know.
Yeah.
So at least I can see where I'm going. Because the whole thing starts at midnight.
Oh, does it?
Yeah. And I mean, trying to work your way out of Milan at midnight.
It's bad enough in the daylight.
Yeah. I still think it's bad enough if you know where you're going.
Oh dear. I remember, 1968, when we went to Monza to the Italian Grand Prix. It was my first taste of sort of Milan traffic, and there was little Fiat 500s and things on the left-hand lane that wanted to turn right.
Well, yes.
6 lanes wide.
Yeah, except that they know where they're going, you don't.
It was fantastic.
Anyhow, I don't think there's much else to do on it now. It's just about ready, and I'm running it a bit, so you know, in the hope that I do find any weak spots, and I do them right away. You know, good. Dynamo's been rebuilt and everything. It's battery ignition anyhow, because Lely put that fancy distributor on it.
Yeah.
So as far as that's concerned, it's just got a nice big fat new battery, 12 volts on it now. I shouldn't have a problem.
Good. Okay, well, let's have a look at one of the others. So Billy's here today, and he's brought one of his restorations, which is a Horrocks. Probably the Billy, or you'll tell us all a little bit about it.
It's a 53 model, 1953. 350 twin port, as you can see. It's a very nice restoration. He's been at it for the last 3 years or so, you know, but what I like about Billy's restorations, he's never in a hurry, you know, and when it's ready, but he does a good job.
Do you know a little bit about how the bike got here, or is it the only one on the island? Or?
I think it's the only one on the island. I think it is. I'm not sure. It's certainly the only one we know of. He got in touch with the Horrocks mark specialist, who's a Belgian chap, and he helped him out with parts and information and so on about it.
It looks lovely, doesn't it? This is the owner. You'll remember him from before. He's the Billy the policeman.
Profile 6 millimeter. 6 millimeter.
Can you tell us anything about this bike then? You know, we've had a look at the bike now. What about the...
Well, it's a Horrocks Regina 3. It's a 350cc. And it's German.
German?
Yeah.
And that's as far as you know?
Well, no. What do you want to know exactly?
Do you know who imported it onto the island, or...?
No.
No?
No, there was a guy from Slima. I don't know exactly who.
And where did you find it?
I bought it from a shop.
A shop?
Yeah. I bought it. It was in a horrible state.
Yeah.
And I had to spend a lot of money on it.
Did you have to part with a lot of money to buy it?
Well, no. I just bought it for £60.
That was a very good buy then.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. And have you had it long? What? 4 or 5 years?
3 years. 3 years.
3 years.
3 years. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's pretty good then.
Well,
it looks a lovely restoration. Have you had it out many times, or?
Well, it's the 4th time, I think.
4th time.
4th time, and it runs good. I don't know if it stops today, but it looks like
it won't stop.
It's running good.
It's running good. Good out.
Right.
Okay, well, as we ride around, we'll get a little bit of film of you further on.
Okay, I'll be here, I think.
Francis again.
Hello.
Hello, Francis. How are you?
Yeah, fine, thank you.
Yep. Out with us again. This is a real regular.
I don't miss any of these runs at all.
None at all.
You know, I enjoy them. You know, I started late in life, and I'm enjoying myself. You know,
want to have every minute of enjoyment you can.
Every minute of it, yes.
You can make up for it. Good.
As you know, I started writing at 40, and now I'm 51. You know, so
you've got a lot of making up to do,
life now, you know, sort of.
Good. And what about any of your projects? Are you?
Yes, I'm doing up in Norton, you know, 16H.
Yeah, but have you got any further with it? You told us about that last time you were doing it up, but
yes, I'm sort of pushing forward now.
Good.
I've got most of the girder fork, you know, so all the stripped and sprayed with the primer, you know, and waiting for sort of more spare parts.
Good.
You know, and
good. So it won't be too long then before you're out with another bike.
That at the same time, I'm doing a BSA M20.
Yeah.
And that's moving on too.
Good.
It'll soon be ready, I hope. You know,
so it'll be the M20 out first, will it?
I think so. Yes.
Yeah. Good. Okay.
Right.
We'll talk to you later on.
Thank you.
And what about yours? Are you happy with yours now?
Yeah.
I believe you've got a new job now. Is it Public Relations Officer for the club?
PRO so far.
PRO?
No work so far.
No, well, that's the best job you've got then.
That's right. Just the title, actually.
Just the title.
I suppose when we've got the exhibition coming along, we'll be quite busy.
Good. So if I want any information then, or any commentaries for my films, the public relations officer will give me all the gen. Good. Okay. We'll see you later. You've come in it again today, haven't you? This is another one from the gentleman's stable again. There's another super rocket. There's one thing out here that they really enjoy doing, and that is actually chroming everything inside. You know, a few years ago, you really hadn't arrived unless you'd got one of these big British bikes like a super rocket or whatever it happened to be, and it had got chrome from end to end. The more chrome, the higher in the pecking order you were. So there's a lot of chrome.
A compliment. He just plays with his bikes 14 whole years retired to catch up a bit.
Where's the boss today then?
The boss is at home. She just had a haircut, so she doesn't want to crush her hair under the helmet.
Oh dear.
Too bad, huh?
Oh, that's really a problem with women, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Well, it keeps me quiet.
So you've actually let her stay at home instead of sending her out to work again?
Yes.
Because last week, I understand on the film you said she was working to buy handlebars and levers, wasn't it?
Yes,
yeah?
Next week she's going to buy me a cylinder head.
A cylinder head?
Yes.
Well,
I hope Ian realises she's going to hear this one of these days.
Well, this is all good incriminating evidence.
Yes.
There's another one arrived.
Salvo.
Bruce Brothers. Blues Brothers.
The Blues Brothers, they call it. Bruce Brothers, not the Blues Brothers.
Oh, it's the Blues Brothers, I think. Blues? Yeah, Blues Brothers.
Yeah. There you go. You see, they're not all sort of 20-year-old cafe racers here. These are real motorcyclists. They've been doing it for a long, long while. And they don't look like giving it up for a long, long while, neither. Let's go and have a word with him. When he's got himself all tidied up and cleaned up for the camera. Are you going to tell me a little bit about your bike? Can you tell me a little bit about your bike? How long have you had it? He's just getting himself all geared up.
And look how long you've had the Camilo on there.
About 30 years.
30 years.
30 years. Man and boy. Yeah?
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about the bike. Come and stand next to the bike.
What you want me to tell you?
Well, have you restored it, or have you restored the bike, or?
Yes. About just the story out.
Yeah, look at the story.
No, I started about 15 years.
Yeah. You restored it 15 years ago?
Yes.
Yeah. And do you ride it regularly every day, or?
Yes, every day.
Every day?
Yes.
So it's not just a weekend classic?
Just for the weekend only,
no.
He's one of the oldest collectors in Malta.
I have a super rocket as well.
And everything.
Yeah? You got a super rocket as well?
Yes.
Oh, they're lovely.
Super rocket, Golden Flash, and Matchless.
Yeah.
GTL.
Yeah. That's lovely then. All right. Sorry, and I didn't catch your name in the first place.
Salvo Gallia.
Salvo
Gallia.
Mechanics we have in Malta on the bikes.
On the bikes. You've been doing that for a long while. Yeah.
I've been working about 4 to 5 years. I have 64 years old.
So you've been doing them a long while. So you've seen them when they were around first time. Good. Okay, we'll see you later.
Thank you.
Ciao, hey.
As you can see that a lot of these guys, as I said, are not just starting motorcycling. You know, they're all been doing it for years. That man runs every day on his bike, and he's got numerous other bikes to go with it. And this is all part of the club, all the nattering that goes on beforehand and discussing what can be done with the bikes. It's just the job.
Tell us all about it, Pat.
Well, I don't know nothing. I don't know nothing. I'm just here on holiday. Threw me watch away the first day I came, and I'm not really bothered what day it is or what time it is, as long as I'm enjoying myself.
Well, hopefully next week we'll have an interesting guest with us. You'll have a lot to talk about with Malcolm.
Good. Okay, well, we'll drop off. There's just just tell us about the chap, Joe, that had the old BSA last week. He's come on a AJS this week,
Yes,
hasn't he?
yeah.
Another
He's got
one.
quite a few bikes.
Yeah. This is the chap that we spoke to last week.
The M20, the ex-police one.
Yeah, 1953 bike.
Yeah, that's right.
Just tell us a little bit about this one, because the owner...
61 or 62 AJS CSR. I've actually found a picture of this bike when it was 1 year old, of the bloke that had it then, who funnily enough was a plasterer that was doing a bit of work at my house recently.
Was he?
And I was speaking to him and he said he had an AJS and remembered the registration number and said he'd bring a picture. And sure enough, it's the same one.
Oh, that's brilliant then, isn't it? It's nice to add together these little bits of history to find out where the bikes have been in between times. This man's a real collector, if you can see me pointing. Every time he comes, he seems to have another bit to swap with somebody, isn't that right?
Yes, he's got a chain case for a Norton now, back chain guard rather.
Yeah.
Or his Norton, which he's managed to get from somebody.
Good.
So
Okay.
that helps complete the Norton a bit more.
Yep. Look, and there's
Joey.
There's the eyes from the classic bike. What about Joey? Are you going to tell us a little bit about your Super Rocket? Go over to the Super Rocket. How long have you had it then?
No, speak English, me.
Just a little, nice and steady. Tell us, how long have you had the bike?
1 year, 1.5 years.
1.5 years. And was it all in this state, or have you restored it? We've got to do a little bit of translation here.
No, it's... He bought it like it is.
He bought it like it is. Plenty of chrome. Have you had any bikes before, or?
Yes. I have Firebird 650.
Yeah.
Matchless 350. Aerial 350. VSA M20.
And you've got all these now, or are these bikes that you've had before?
Just try to. Yeah, he bought.
He's got them now.
Yeah, he got them now.
Yeah.
Yes, he does.
Yeah. So these are not just bikes you've had in the past; they're actually ones that you own now.
Yes, he owns them now.
Yes. So everybody you talk to has got a collection. It's good anyway. At least if they get into the hands of people that are interested in them, they won't just lay in the shed and rot away. They all want restoring.
This morning I just bought some parts for the Norton Mercury.
Yeah.
I think it's the only one Mercury that is over here.
Good.
It's right before the Commando.
Yeah.
And I'm painting it all black.
Good.
The silver tongue.
Yeah. Good. Okay, we'll talk to you again as we go round.
Oh, it was so hot. It was really hot that day. I mean, it was no fun at all because the heat of the bike as well.
And coming up.
Yes. It was so uncomfortable. Go away with that blessed thing.
You're out and about today then? Where have you been?
I'm always out and about.
Yeah, but you've not been here
Because
lately,
I'm not
have
with
you?
you lot.
It's the birthday.
Of course, it's birthday
No,
today,
it's because
so...
the children don't have any lessons this afternoon, so I don't have to
So you're free?
run backwards and forwards. Yes, usually I have to pick Debbie up at 4.
I see.
Well, we'll see how about a bit later on. And Susie? What's Susie got to tell us?
Same as usual.
Don't think she thinks much to it.
Why, I'm lost for words.
It's the first time a woman's ever been lost for words. I'm pleased we've got it on film.
I'll find some later, go away.
Tell me something. Did you get lost, or was that just a long way round?
No, just, think
scenic
it out,
route?
think it out as you go along,
I see. Oh, dear.
Well, it wasn't too bad, was it?
No, it wasn't too bad.
I tried to, find the best roads, actually.
I kept putting my hand out to go one way and you went the other way.
Follow me,
Well, when you're a long way down, you begin to think you know where everybody's going, and then suddenly you're turned off again.
A lot of surprises, huh?
A lot of surprises today. Okay. A lot of surprises today?
No.
No? You knew where you was going?
Yes, all the time. Did
All
you?
the time? Well, I knew we was going to Marshall's Lock, but I didn't think we was coming in such a scenic route.
Yes, well,
Follow Freddie, Bud, and you're all right.
Follow Freddie?
Yes,
Yeah,
you're
but
okay.
Half the time I don't even know he's there.
You don't see him in front of you.
Okay.
well, we didn't leave the island, that's for sure.
Well, that's good. Yeah,
Okay.
that's good. Susie? Sue? Talk to me, Susan. What does the Rigid Brigade think? What did the Rigid Brigade think?
Not so bad, it's okay, all right.
It was what?
All right, not so bad.
It was not so
a
bad.
good ride.
It was a good ride. I kept thinking we're going to go left here, then we went right.
The springs are good.
The springs are good on the saddle. I know you kept standing up a time or two.
Now and again, yes. And the sort of bits on the way, sort of deep hole, and all that. So you've got to set it up.
Some of the holes you can disappear down in it.
That's right. In fact, I suffer from back trouble, you see, back trouble, and I also got a sprain here, in my elbow. So I've got to take care.
Well, you know what it is? It's called getting old. That's the problem.
Could be.
We've all got those things now.
Could be.
Okay. A good ride. Right. I was saying I didn't realise you were as romantic as that.
For me?
Yeah, you.
I said it was one of my hidden virtues.
One of your hidden virtues?
Yes.
And
You ask Carolyn all about them.
what does Carolyn have to say?
I've just told you.
I'm sorry, but I missed that bit. Somehow or another, I didn't get you. Where
you
did
look for them, you look for them.
Where did
you
you
might
say-
know where to find them.
You said you didn't know where to find them. And where did he keep them hidden?
In his boots.
In his boots. In his boots.
Yeah, wait till I clean them.
Right.
They shine more.
And what does I call them Nan, not Grandma. It's not very nice, is it?
Oh, I get called all sorts of things.
And what does Dad have to say?
Not by me.
What do you think of the son-in-law at this stage?
Son-in-law? Oh, I think he's all right.
He's passable, is he?
He's
Yeah.
my favourite. Thank you very much. He really is.
He's your favourite one?
My favourite circumference is Joe.
Circumference.
That's right, yes.
I think somebody's talking about you again,
That's right,
Joe.
yeah, I'm the right shape. It's all the others, though. Well, let me tell you something, Pat. There's only one
Just a minute.
disappointment I have with
Just
Granny.
a second. Let me come back. Let me come back.
Not your granny.
I'm only disappointed with one thing about Granny. That she's not the proverbial sort of dragon at all. Yeah, I mean, you talk about mothers-in-law, mother-in-laws, or whatever you say. What do you say? Mothers-in-law. And
I call mine the outlaw.
They're supposed to be sort of right dragons. They go on and everything else. This one doesn't. I don't know what's wrong with her.
Well, I could change, Joe. Things do, you know.
Perhaps she doesn't see you enough.
You've left your broomstick behind, haven't you, dear?
My broomstick sometimes.
All right. Right, I better have this other bit with Josh as well, actually. I asked you earlier on how you managed to keep the secret, and somehow or another I didn't manage to get it on film.
I didn't want to tell Mummy.
You didn't want to tell me? Somebody told me they never told you, because you can't keep a secret. Is that right? No. And you don't know what you do? You just try and attract the young lads now, do you?
Yes.
Not too hard, is it?
Right, one last word on the birthday.
Yeah, what about it?
Well, you tell us.
Well, it's not my birthday.
No.
I have to ask her.
No.
It's her birthday. I'm having her cake.
You're having her cake?
Yeah. Hey! What's me now?
Aren't you going to put him on a diet now? Now, seeing as it's your birthday, you ought to be on a diet, didn't you?
Yes, from Monday.
From Monday?
Yeah, doctor's orders on Monday.
Yeah.
Okay,
well, he's got to go in on Tuesday, hasn't he?
For a service.
For a service.
Rebrought.
Rebrought.
Operation on the bus.
Could you repeat that, please?
Calm down.
We know now what parts he's going to have seen to.
His hidden virtues.
Oh, that's obviously your hidden virtues that you're going to have seen to, is it, on Tuesday?
Well, Billy, I'm Mr. Marty.
You have to have your hairstyle for the camera.
Well, we've all come to Bahria for Rabbit. This is the real character of the... Teasy Weezy? Is it Teasy Weezy? Coco the Clown. What do you think of it so far? What do you think of it so far? Well, you say just exactly what you feel. Teasy Weezy.
Oh, that's the one, the video one, is it?
This is the video one. Everybody.
Hello there.
What have you got to say? Nothing. No. And you? Full up. Good, that's what we like. This is a...
But I'm still eating.
Say that again?
But I'm still eating.
Lovely. Yeah. What does Susie think of it? Come on. Look, she's got the wine. What about Frank? What do you think of it?
Yeah, take your pick.
They look as though there's something... Where did you find them?
It's a bit of little cheese.
A little pickle cheese?
Pickled cheese.
Oh, pickled cheese.
Little cheese.
Pickled cheese.
And a bit of butter.
This is the first time you've been here. What do you think of this?
Well, it's rather over much for me.
Over much?
Oh, yes.
Well, we've not finished yet. This is only the first course. No, sorry, second course.
No, well, I think that's just about enough.
Just about enough? Oh, well.
This one, lady.
No, shan't. I could do with a doggy bag.
A doggy bag?
No, the dogs aren't here. Post it to them.
Well, I'm still eating mine.
That's it, you get on with it, Pat.
Yes.
What about you?
Oh, I'm doing all right.
You've got to go home tomorrow morning?
Going home well filled.
Well filled. Well, you'll last a fortnight. Well, you know, we know these pensioners back in England don't do very well, so you have to eat up before you leave, is that right?
That's right.
Yeah. And what about Mum?
I'm not cooking for it for the next week, so he's got to make the most of it.
He's got to make the most of it. Right. What does everybody think of it then?
Robbie!
Robbie!
You lost your hairstyle.
Oh, he's lost his hairstyle.
No, put it down. Poor Joey. Poor Joey girl. Joey girl.
Oh, we mustn't forget Joe. He's at home suffering, and there's a lot left over, obviously.
Probably have these leave up, but shall we say absent friends?
Absent friends.
Absent friends, Anne.
Right, we've come to Victoria, or Rabat, as it's known as in Malta. It's the 20th of May. Another glorious day. We've now come to find another chap that, as you can see by now, we've got a lovely collection of bikes. I'm going to get him to introduce himself and tell us a little bit about the different bikes as we go along. Good afternoon.
Hello.
And your name is?
This is Joe Portelli.
Joe Portelli. Right, how long have you been interested in motorcycles?
About 25 years.
Yeah? And would you say you're one of the foremost collectors of bikes on Gozo, or is there anybody that's got any more, or?
There is some, but I am the man who have all the bikes almost in Gozo.
Almost. Well, I know when I first came, everybody said, this is the chap you want to go and talk to, and as at the time I'm really interested in buying a Bonneville, they said, well, this is the only chap, he's got two, and most people have not even got one, so he might sell you one, but how long have we been coming now? What, 4 years?
4 years.
4 years, and he did weaken once, but he didn't really change his mind. He's had one sleepless night, and then he changed his mind. Right, tell me a little bit about the bikes then.
This I bought it 7 years ago. I bought it from Malta, and it was red before I painted this color, the blue color, and it's not finished yet. It needs job on it. So right now I'm busy on the other bikes, so I have to leave it.
This is a Gold Flash.
This is a Gold Flash, yes.
And what year is this?
It's 1961.
And what sort of amount of work have you done to it, or have you got to do to it?
Pardon?
How much more work are you planning on taking it to pieces completely, or?
Yes, it has to do a good job. You have to take it in pieces.
Yeah, but at the moment
At the moment I'm going to leave it how it is.
So you can ride it.
Yes.
Right. Okay, we'll move on to the next one, unless you've got anything else to tell us about it. No.
And this is a Triumph T120. It's 59 Bombil. It belongs to English guy, and I take care of it.
What, you actually fettle it for him, as we'd say in England? Yeah?
Yeah.
And does he come out very often, or?
Yes, he comes 7 times or 8 times every year.
Does he really?
Yeah.
He is a lucky chap then, isn't he?
Yeah. So, and I take care of his bike.
Good.
Yesterday I changed the front sprocket for him because he said to me, I'm going to change it, and I have to do it for him.
Well, when he comes out here, he wants to holiday. All he wants to do is ride the bike.
He wants to ride the bike, yes.
Yeah. That's nice. And that's not the original tank, though, is it?
No, that's not the original tank, but that's the one he likes.
Well, you know, I think if we're not very careful with a lot of these motorbikes, everybody's out for absolute dead originality, but motorcycling's all about what you enjoy. I mean, I'm sure as we go further on in the lineup, you've got one that's not original, but that's how you want it, and that's it, isn't it?
Yes, that's right.
You know, It doesn't really matter as long as you're enjoying it. And what about the next one?
The next one, it's mine.
Ah, now that's quite tasty, that is. I think we've seen this one before on different films. This is lovely, isn't it? How long have you had this one then?
I've been had this one now for years.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like that. I do some job on it, some chrome, some galvanize on the nuts and the bolts. So it still needs job, but I think now it comes a little bit better than before.
Yeah, it looks lovely, doesn't it? So have you taken it to pieces completely, or?
No, I didn't take it, no.
So it was in pretty good condition really then when you bought it? And was it supplied new to somebody on Gozo, or?
It was belonged to a Jewish Episcopal from Malta.
Yeah. Yeah, that's lovely, isn't it? Right. Okay, well tell us about the next one.
This is a trophy, TR6. I bought it 13 years ago, and I never have trouble with it, and I keep it like I keep the other ones, and it's a good bike.
Yeah. So that's like a modern Bonneville, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Lovely. Okay.
This is a CSR AJS. I bought it 2 years ago. I bought the frame, and the rest you are seeing, the wheels, the tank, the engine. I have it before, so that's why I bought the frame.
I see, so you've made this up from pieces that you've found around and scrounged, as we would say in England, and brought together and put back to a bike.
Yeah.
So obviously not got the same engine and frame number, but really again that doesn't matter, does it? You know, I'm sure there's a lot of what are termed as genuine bikes that have not got original frame and engine numbers exactly the same.
No, it's it's the engine. It goes on this frame. Yes, it belongs to this frame. It used to have engine like this before.
Yeah, but it's not the same original numbers as it was brought out with.
The same number it have on the frame, but
it doesn't really matter, does it? If it hadn't been brought together like this, it would be just a load of bits and pieces, and it would turn into scrap.
Yeah.
Whereas at least now it's back into a motorcycle that you can ride again. Good.
And this is the matchless. It's a matchless. I bought it 5 years ago. It was a chopper before.
A chopper?
Yes.
Oh dear. So again you've put it back to where it should be.
And I make it how it should be.
Yeah.
I bought it 20 pounds.
Oh.
And now it costs more than that because I bought the mud guards and I stripped out the engine.
Yeah. I can see we should have been here a few years ago. I suppose all of us really are just a little bit late into collecting these bikes. Some of you have been lucky and bought bikes for very, very little money, but in general terms the prices have gone up dramatically now, haven't they?
Yeah.
And you was telling me earlier on that somebody exported about 400 bikes off the island.
Oh yes.
Just as England and Germany and everywhere started to get interested in bikes, because there was such a load of British bikes here, somebody came down and took them all away.
Yes.
So that's what's put the prices up here in Malta and Gozo a lot.
And now with everybody it's looking for them, but it's too late now.
Yeah.
Because all of the English bike it went out. Now there is bikes here, you can count them on your finger.
Yeah.
Few now.
Good, but at least the people that have got them are interested in the bikes, aren't
Yes,
they?
yes.
That's one good thing. As they were before, they were just means of transport and people really weren't taking any notice of them. People have told me that you're buying G3 matchlesses for £5.
Yes, that's right, yes.
Yeah?
Yes, yes,
It's
true.
It's very different now, isn't it?
It's very different now.
Yeah. Right, now this is, although you like your classic bikes, this one is what you really wanted to do. This is a proper cafe racer.
Yes, this is a Wesley, 8-valve Wesley. It belongs to the Triumph.
A proper period fairing and
yeah.
Even down to the period murals on the tank.
Yeah.
What else is this bike? What have you actually done? Did you build this from scratch or?
No, I just bought it how it is. 11 years ago. I bought it 1300.
Yeah.
And I keep it not for racing or something. I keep it like the others.
You're obviously a Triumph man.
Yeah.
Does any other motorcycles exist, or you know, are you really closed? I see you've got one BSA, but
yes, I like them all.
You like them all?
I like them all, but the best for me is the Triumph.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good.
I like them all.
Yeah. Good. Now this belongs to this gentleman that's lobbing.
Yes, this belongs to my friend, to Angelo Spiteri.
Yeah.
And he just built it. He bought it 2 years and a half, 3 years, and he take it in pieces, and he spent on this bike a lot of time, and about that time he spent almost £800 on it.
Blimey.
This is A10 Gold Flash.
And don't forget, of course, when you're talking about £800 here, it's double that English. So we're talking he spent £1,600 to get it into this state. And it really is lovely. This is the sort of job that I want to do on my Super Rocket when the other bike arrives from England.
Well, to do a good job, you have to take some advice from Angelo.
Yes, well, he's certainly made a good job of it.
And you have to have a lot of patience, you know?
A lot of patience.
Yeah.
Has he got any other bikes?
Yes, he got the C40 here. He got a small Triumph, Tiger Cup.
Well, that's the one he's just trying to sell me, is it?
Yeah, and he got another 650.
It was £100, wasn't it? He's got another 650 as well?
Yes, Triumph.
Yeah.
Sometimes he have to make it like a Bonneville, because it have a frame like the Bonneville.
Yeah.
Ah.
Well, you've certainly got a lovely lineup of motorcycles. As we said earlier on, how do you decide which one to take out when you want to go out?